Greetings, sleepers and dreamers. I am Lilith. I do not tell bedtime stories to soothe you. I tell them because the darkness listens, and sometimes it needs a rival. Today, we speak of a boy named Graham, a boy with cold hands, a torn anorak, and a January sky the color of iron. It began with potato peelings. His mother sent him to the compost heap at the top of the garden. The path was slick with frost, and the brambles, those wild, neglected fingers of the hedge, reached out and caught him. He fell, cursed, scattered the peelings, and tore his jacket. But when he bent to gather the mess, the brambles shook, not like a cat, like something hiding. And there, in the darkest knot of thorns, two eyes stared back, human, large, terrified. A wizened little man emerged, skin like bark, rings in his overlarge ears. He carried nothing but a white wax candle carved with 3 golden eyes. Before Graham could speak, a horn sounded across the playing field, an unearthly bellow that made his bones vibrate. The little man vaulted the fence and vanished into the snow, dropping the candle among the strawberry plants. Graham hid it under his sweaters. But that night, he dreamed of a bottomless pit and heard a single word, growling like thunder in the blackness: desolation. The horsemen came back, you see. Night after night, their hooves printed the frost in meaningless circles, searching for the light they could not find. Graham told his friends, Colin the skeptic, Gwen the weaver of dreams. They laughed, of course, until they saw the gold in the wax, until they agreed to light it. They took the candle to Woolton Woods on a bitter February evening. They stuck it in the earth behind a rhododendron bush. Graham struck a match. The flame guttered. The wind screamed up from nowhere. The trees roared. The sky boiled purple. And then silence. They fell asleep in the mud and woke in summer. A forest had grown around them. A strange, cracked-voiced old man in a patchwork gown stood over them, holding the candle. Darach, he called himself, and you are the candle finder. He told them of the maggot cloud, a living darkness that boiled over the eastern mountains, devouring everything it touched. Animals melted into slime. Men returned to mud. And at its heart, a pit where a sorcerer named El-Sralhiam had fallen, dragging his kingdom with him. The horsemen were his guard. Made of shadow, killed by light. You must carry the candle into desolation, Darach said. Light it in the darkest places, or both your world and ours will drown. They ran from the forest, they crossed marshes, fought a monstrous crab, and took refuge in a crumbling beacon tower. But the keeper had been touched by the darkness. He lit the beacon not to warn sailors, but to summon the hunt. 6 horsemen surrounded the tower. They sang an eerie chant. Their horses' hooves smoked and turned black with heat. The tower shook. It fell. The children escaped by boat as the sun rose just barely. They sailed north, were blown off course, and stole a hot air balloon from 2 bumbling brothers. The cloud dragged them east over mountains until the balloon crashed on the edge of a dead desert. There they found a palace of white stone, where painted people with china faces listened to a boy king sing of an old kingdom. The boy tried to keep them prisoner with sweet wine and despair. But the cloud came for them. A creature with 100 eyes smashed through the stained glass window and carried Graham into the dark. Colin and Gwen followed. They rode a log down a river of black mud. They crossed a cracked, ashen earth where lizards melted into slime. And there, at the pit's lip, they found Graham standing in the gloom. The 100-eyed thing hovered above them. A voice hissed in their minds. I am El-Sralhiam. You are too late. Colin struck match after match. Each one blew out. The 4th match failed. The darkness howled its victory. But Graham took the candle. He put his hands over Colin's and Gwen's. 3 wills, 1 flame. The candle lit. Not a normal flame. A star. Graham threw it into the air. The 100 eyes recoiled. The creature shrieked. And from the pit, a wave of white fire exploded upward, tearing the maggot cloud apart like rotten cloth. The sun broke through. Graham fell, claw-marked and poisoned. But that night, as they slept in the new grass, a warm rain washed him clean. He woke smiling in a wood that had grown from nothing. The queen came with trumpets. Darach and the silent wake robin embraced them. And when it was time to go home, the old wizard only smiled. 3 steps, he said, and the bridge will be crossed. Gwen wept. Colin refused to move. But Darach whispered, "Remember what you told the boy king. There will be other dreams." They took the 3 steps. The world changed back. It was snowing in Woolton. The streetlights burned orange. And Graham looked up at the winter stars. "Perhaps they are holes in heaven after all," he said. Colin smiled. "Perhaps they are." The candle is gone, but the brambles are still there, waiting for the next clumsy hand. Sleep well, dreamers, and keep your eyes open in the dark.